My name is Tara Bankstown, and I am a proud First Nations Mangarai Tiwi Arunda Larrakia drag queen. And I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and pay my respects to all the traditional owners everywhere, past, present, and future.
Welcome to my podcast. This is Carla from Bankstown speaking. How can I help you today? Just joking, bro. It's my podcast, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. Hello, my sexy gronks. Guess what, but it is another episode of Oh My God, Bro. Carla is not here today. I am here. She's actually called in sick. She had a very big night last night with a few of the boys in the area.
In the area.
So she's sick. So I'm taking over. I have two of my most favorite ladies in the whole entire universe with me. The beautiful Samantha Jade and Bronte Campbell. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Thanks
I
for
can't
joining
even
me.
get through your introduction without laughing.
I know.
Honestly.
I'm just smiling like a proud mum. Like that.
You're doing
So
amazing,
happy.
sweetie.
Yeah, we love you, sweetie.
Can you believe I have my own podcast?
We're so excited.
Just, getting paid to
I
talk
also
shit.
love the name. And
Yeah.
I love how you gotta go, oh my God, bro.
Oh my God, bro.
God, bro. I can just hear you saying it.
I was
too.
trying to think of what else to call it, and I thought Gronkcast.
Oh, that's
But then I
good
also thought it
too.
kind of sounds like Chromecast, and I don't
yeah.
really want that to.
Oh my
people to
God, bro
think.
is great.
I feel like Gronkcast might be my TV series.
Okay, sure. Invite us back for that.
So I have some Prosecco from Nueva, which we're going to
Yum.
pop open right now and have a little cheers.
Yes.
I actually have a really big fear of opening up.
Bust it open into
Here
it.
we go. Ooh, ASMR. Here we go. Ooh. Oh my God, I can feel it coming out.
Podcast with this.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, you did a good job. I was
Is
scared
that
for
so
a second.
sexual?
Well, we have video footage to show people that it wasn't that sexual.
No, it really
It was a
wasn't actually.
two-handed twisty, come on. So cute. Okay, good.
Oh my gosh, how fun. Because every time we drink, on the show, it would not be, we'd be reeling from what we'd just been through in the boardroom. So Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed alcohol on the show. I don't know if you guys noticed or saw that.
I saw you pour a whole bottle of wine into a glass, and I've never seen anyone do that before.
yeah.
I did that multiple times. Will and Woody used to call it my fishbowl.
Fishbowl.
So I would just drink.
Well, we deserved that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers to oh my God, bro, and to friendship.
Cheers.
Spice Girls, friendship.
Proud of
friends.
you. So happy you've got a podcast.
Oh, that's good. Thank
that
you, Nueva,
is
for
nice.
that Prosecco. That was gorgeous.
Lovely.
So usually with the podcast, Carla does her stuff with the guests.
Okay.
Wearing the wig, and then we do the wigs off section when I take the wig off. We take the wig off and we kind of get in depth. But I
Yep.
thought I really want you guys to wear wigs, so I bought some wigs for you guys to
Yay!
wear.
I
So I
love
feel like
wigs.
we should wear.
We
want
wanna wear wigs.
This is like a
100%.
girl chat.
Oh, we're
So,
wearing wigs for sure.
I don't know what you guys want
Do
to choose.
we
I feel like
like-
Sammy's already chosen.
I just went straight.
Just
Go,
went
go.
straight for it.
She's better grab
I have
him.
my Carla t-shirt.
Oh, she's got
and
the
I feel
Carla
like it goes
t-shirt.
really well,
Oh,
right?
absolutely, 100%.
And I want to wear the iconic
Okay.
Carla wig.
I promise you, I have washed that wig.
Was this was the thing you were wearing when I first saw you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the
So this
first
is like a
episode.
nice thing
First
for me to
ep.
see.
There was so much drama with that wig for that first episode, though,
Well,
because
I think I've
they didn't tell me what wig to wear, and me and Pabs just decided to. I took this other wig, and then I got there, and they're like, "Okay, cool, all ready to go. Where's your wig?" And I was like, "I've got it on." And they're like, "No, where's the pink one?" I'm like, "This is a pink wig." And they're like, "No, the other pink one." I'm like, "I have 85 pink wigs. Which one do you want?"
One.
And they were like, the one that you wore in your Gladys videos. I'm like, oh.
The iconic one.
It's at my hotel at North Sydney. So they had to send a runner to go through my room to try and find it because I had
That
no
would've been
idea.
so
where it
good.
Who went?
was.
That's what I
Imagine
want to
going
know.
through your room. I
This
love
is great.
this.
This
Okay,
is
you-
great.
You look
Okay, you
amazing.
look beautiful.
we
You
love?
both look stunning.
I feel like I'm alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Samantha Shade.
Samantha
That's
Shade.
Samantha Shade right
She
there.
has
Oh my
hair.
God.
Yeah.
I feel like you need a drag name too, Bronte.
What's yours?
I do need a drag name.
I'm trying to think now.
I can't think of one on the spot.
Something with like swimming. What did Darren call you on the lingerie task? Like a dolphin or something?
He called me like a sultry dolphin. And I was like,
Oh.
I'm sorry, but like, what exactly is a sultry dolphin?
All the things, that is hilarious.
Out of everything, a dolphin
no.
and a sultry one.
No.
I've never seen a dolphin be sultry,
No,
but I
neither.
loved it.
No, they're quite slimy, aren't they? This is going to be a really fun one because I want to get into just kind of like what we always do when we hang out and go out for dinner. Just talk,
Which we've done a
talk
lot.
shit about things that we've done together, i.e. The Amazing Celebrity Apprentice,
Yes.
which is great. I know we're so sick of talking about this shit.
Yeah, but
We're also not sick of it
Yeah.
because like every time we hang out, it's like a 2-hour gossip session.
Yeah.
And we have to cut it short because like our bookings ended and they're kicking us out of the restaurant.
I know.
Like,
Like, guys, the lights are flashing. We need to leave this
Yeah.
restaurant. We're like, do you remember that time that happened?
because no one gets it like we do.
No,
Like I feel like that's the thing. I'd come home and I'd try and explain it to Pat, and he'd be like, "Okay, wait, so the producer did, and this and I'm like, don't worry about it, I don't get it." So it's so nice to talk, and when you're watching it,
It's a
even
shared experience that we've had that it's
Yeah.
nice to talk about it with people that
No one
actually
will ever get it.
understand.
Yep.
Because I remember when watching every episode back, after like even during commercial breaks and even after the show, I would say to my family, okay, we're going to have a 5-minute Q&A. Ask me whatever questions you want while it's fresh in your mind. Even when I had like a little premiere party with like my friends and family.
Yeah.
And during the commercial breaks, there was like, I don't know, there was like 40 people there. And every time the commercial break, they're like, so what happened there? Why was this happening? And I'm like, okay, let's just do a Q&A after the show airs, please.
Then I'll answer all your
I'll
questions.
get the mic. You can line up and one by one we'll go through these questions and I'll
It's
give you whatever you
important,
want.
Though.
Yeah.
It is important because
Yeah.
as people, that didn't know, that they have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and even my family would call me from Perth 2 hours later.
The delay, yeah.
Remember when you were calling me my phone?
when you
And I was
got
like, I'm just
fired.
on the phone to my dad because I just got fired and like it's just happened in Perth. And Ben's like, oh, okay, yeah. But everyone needed to know like all of the questions. But yeah,
People asked weird questions as well, and it's because I think everyone's got a bit of an idea of what they think reality TV's
Yes.
like.
yes.
And I got so many, like, when I was watching with people, like, so many, like, specific questions. Like, did they tell you to sit there?
Yeah.
How did you decide who sat up and, like,
Yeah.
who stood and who sat down in the boardroom?
That's what my mum
That's
asked
actually
me.
the only thing that they didn't tell us to do.
yeah, no,
right?
they
Yeah, I
did.
know, but, like, all that really
That's weird.
specific stuff, they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
actually
yeah.
tell us what to do.
No.
Like, and they're like, are they feeding you lines of what to say? And you're like, it's not that kind of...
It's not that kind
Yeah,
of show.
no.
It's not that kind of manipulation of reality. They like create the environment for you
Yes.
to then act in a certain way
Yes.
and
Yes.
see what you do. It's
Yeah.
it's almost like a
Yeah.
social experiment, but they're
Kind
not
of,
telling you
yeah.
what to do because they want to see how you actually react.
How it unfolds. I think it was great
Yep.
when I think we all got to a certain point because I think we had all just kind of like come out of like lockdown and not being able to see people. So then we all got thrusted into this show.
Yeah.
And we were all really good friends up until like a certain point.
Yeah.
I think it was like the infomercial task when
Yeah.
Lord Sugar was like, I've had enough of you guys being friends. You guys need to make some drama happen.
yeah.
He was over our shit because we were all just like, oh my God, I love
I
you so much.
know.
And then that's when the kind of just started.
Well, that's when they had to change teams because I think that
yeah.
what they wanted was, when I think about it, I think they wanted the girls to be what people perceive a group of girls will be, which is bitchy. And we just weren't.
We just
We're
got on
like-
so well. Like
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah,
and then
yes.
remember those times in the boardroom when like the girls' team had lost
Yeah.
and we're in the boardroom
Yeah.
and Lord Sugar would be like, well, whose fault is it? Who messed up this
Yeah.
time? And we're
Yeah.
like, I don't know, all these girls got my back. Like, I don't know what to say to you. Like,
He's like, oh my gosh, fight.
he's like, I've got to fire someone. And we're like,
Yeah.
well, that's not my problem.
No.
Like you could fire Beck again for the 8th time if you wanted to.
But it also wasn't because we were even just trying to be nice. We were just like, no, literally everyone worked really hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the
We
truth.
did.
Especially on the camping one. I really was like,
Jesus, that camping. So for those listening who are not really understanding what we're talking, because we kind of go on a tangent where we just talk shit. So the camping episode, I think it was like episode 3. Bronte was the project manager. We had to go camping. It was either glamping or camping or whatever you want to call it. I don't even think it was called camping.
Is
or
that
swags. It was
camping?
supposed to be a
Yes.
wellness retreat,
Swags.
but they really stitched us up.
Yeah.
There. It was
So
yeah.
we had a group of people that we had to, I guess, give this experience of a wellness retreat to, and these people turned up and they were in like a day spa outfit because they were told to go and do that. And that's what that girl, Emily, one of the girls, we made friends with one of the extras, Emily.
Yes,
she was really
who we
nice.
loved. Yep.
And I'll never forget, I think it was the next day, the last day of the camping trip.
Yeah.
After that night of us sleeping, which we'll get to in a moment because that's a very funny story for me.
Yes.
All I remember from that morning is waking up and then the bus coming down with all the hair and makeup team.
Yeah.
And
They
just
were like-
Pabs got out, Brooke came out, everyone came out, and all 6 of us girls were like, oh my God,
It was
salvation.
like seeing McDonald's, like
Literally.
something familiar.
Or seeing
You're
like a fountain in the
"Oh."
desert. It
Oh my
was
God,
like,
fully.
and all these people was still like in their swags
Yeah.
with their hair messy, and here's us in the middle
Getting
of this bush,
getting
hair and makeup
glam.
done, getting glammed up. And I remember Emily came
my
and sat with us,
God.
and she's like, yeah, they told us that we had to dress for camping.
Yep.
And then they changed their mind and said, no, you're going to be dressing up for a spa day. And then they emailed them again and said, no, it's just camping this time. So pack for, no, it was wellness, then it was camping, then they
Then it
said
was
no,
yeah.
just spa day.
Spa day, yeah.
Extravagant spa. So these people turned up in fucking high
That
shoes.
girl, I'll never forget when I was standing there and this girl's walking towards me in a white suit. That
yeah.
girl,
Yes,
and she
yes.
looked beautiful.
Stunning.
And then she came closer, and it was Chanel,
Yep.
and I was like,
Yep.
this girl is standing around cow shit.
Yeah.
And
She's
wearing
literally going to sleep
white
in a swag on the
Chanel.
floor in a white Chanel suit.
In
Like,
my mind, I'm just thinking, not that she can't do that. I'm sure she's done it before, fine. But where are we hanging this suit?
Where
Yeah,
are we
what
going
do we do with
Pull the
this?
suit up.
Where is this
Just
suit
hang it
going?
from the tree, doll. She'll be
Needs to
right.
go somewhere. And remember the DIY, because they were all like, "How do we get in our pajamas?"
yeah.
And we're
Yes.
all holding.
Who was the one that was it? Gamble.
It
that
was
made
Gamble,
Gamble and Jean, maybe.
maybe Jean, and maybe Taria.
That was one of
And
Gamble's
all of us
amazing
then,
ideas.
it was Gamble's idea
Gamble's
for
idea,
sure.
yeah.
And we're all holding. What was it, like a random
was
tent
a
around
tarp.
a tree?
We found
Tarp,
like all
yeah,
the
yeah.
half a tent and we like hung it on a tree and we're like, you get
Jesus
changed behind there. You get out of your heels in your white Chanel suit behind
She's
this tree
like,
with a
okay.
tent in front
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, that poor lady. I want to call her and apologize.
And just apologise. We're so sorry.
And her husband was like, I remember he said to me, "What are we eating?" And I was like, "Well, it's like, really like healthy."
because you were in
and
charge
plant-based,"
of the
'cause
food and
I
the
was
drinks.
the food gal. And he was like, "Oh," he was so disappointed. He was like, "Where's the restaurant?"
oh no.
I was like, "Just here in these paper boxes." They're
It was
terrible. The food was so good though, I will
Yeah,
say.
it actually
They
was
did
very
really well.
quite
You
good.
did really
That
well.
was a
You
weird
did-
thing.
You did good.
No,
It was
I
really
mean,
good.
no, the chefs were fantastic.
The chefs were great, but you also like obviously ordered the best food.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah,
Totally.
and which is why we didn't win. So
Oh
we
my
know.
God. How's when we didn't win though? Like we thought we knew we weren't going to
We
win.
knew we weren't going to win.
And
that
then
task
when-
at all.
Yeah, but how they did it and said, I was like, guys, don't make us lose by that much. Like it was insane.
Yeah, it wasn't very
Yeah.
nice.
was bad.
I think my favorite part of that task in particular was the sleeping arrangements
Oh
from when we
my.
went to go to bed.
Yeah.
So basically, we had these swags that the guests had to sleep in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was also an option for us to sleep in the swags too.
Yes.
Now
There weren't enough though.
no,
there
there,
were
Yeah,
only
they didn't have
one.
enough swag
Two
for everyone.
left, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the swags reminded me of a body bag. And I felt very claustrophobic in this bag.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I actually technically, I didn't fit in the bag at that point.
Yeah.
Because I was at my biggest at that point. And I knew I was not going to fit in that bag.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to have a heart attack and suffocate.
Yeah,
And I was
totally.
not going to survive.
Oh, neither.
But I
Yeah.
remember them saying to us, "Oh, we've got a tent for you guys
Yeah.
to sleep in for the celebs." And I think Gamble and Jean were the only two that were like, "No, we're sleeping in
Yeah.
in the swags." And good on them.
Good on them for
Good
doing
on
it.
them for doing that. But we had a tent, and it was
And that was lovely.
it was a
I mean,
beautiful
it was
8-man tent.
literally just a tent.
Tent
There
on the
was
floor.
nothing
All
in
six
it.
of us like spooning in this tent. Like
There was maybe 3 sleeping bags. Like there wasn't even enough.
yeah,
Remember?
we were
It
like
was-
cuddling because like honestly,
Yeah.
you just had to
The
unzip the
body
sleeping
warmth.
bags and throw them over each other. Like oh my god.
Because someone said to me like, "Oh, you're in a tent, you'd be fine." I was like, "No, it wasn't what you think."
It was not. No, bitch. It was not that at all.
Also,
Absolutely
swags
not.
aren't that bad. Like swags are quite comfortable. I have some slept on a swag before.
Yeah,
They're
you
actually
said that.
They're
Yeah.
they're really a really good way to camp because
Yeah.
like you're not running around in it and like you just
Yeah.
all you do is get
Get into
slide in
sleep.
and sleep. But like
Yeah.
if you're claustrophobic, obviously terrible idea.
But I
And there
also
wasn't
will-
enough. Like they literally
No.
didn't even have enough swags for us all to sleep in.
So where are we going? On the floor?
I feel like we got to a point where we were just so over that day. That we were just like, no, I'm not. I was literally
So
like-
tired.
But I felt bad because I was put on the girls' team for Carla.
Yeah.
But I felt bad because it was like, I felt bad because us poor girls had to sleep on the fucking floor with all the shit, and all the boys got to sleep in these like
Oh, of course
air
they
beds
did.
with
Yeah.
the fucking cushions that we tried to steal off them and all that shit. But my favorite part about sleeping in that tent was that I didn't actually sleep in the tent by the end of it.
I mean.
Because so just for context for everybody, I was I was sleeping in the tent next to Bronte.
Yep.
And my snoring at that point was very loud. It was like a construction site, and I kept telling people, I snore. And Sammy was like, yeah, babe, it's fine. Like, Pat
Yeah.
snores. Don't worry. I'm used to it. It's all good.
Banksy, my dog snores. My
Everyone
dad snores. Yeah.
And all the girls were like, yeah, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
don't even stress about
Fine.
it, babe. So it was like 10 minutes into me falling asleep, and I was facing Bronte, and I remember her waking me up and being like, can you roll over? You're snoring really loud in my face. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So I roll over. And then 10 minutes after that, I get woken up again by Jody, who's like
Jody.
tapping me. And she's like, babe, she was trying to be so nice
She's
about
trying
it.
to be so
She's like,
sweet.
so like, you know how you snore? Like, how can we stop that? Like, I'm like, what? She's like, do we like roll you over on your side? Like, how do we help this? And I was like, listen, I'm going to pick up my bag and I'm going to go sleep in the car. And I slept in the MG the whole night.
I did not know that
don't
until
know
I
that.
woke up. Because I
wasn't
slept
in the
through.
tent.
Sleep.
Yeah, because I'm honestly.
Oh, I didn't know that until
No,
right
because
now.
my dad snores, right? So my whole life, I've just like, that's a thing I've lived through. And so I just kind of weirdly, if I'm asleep, I'm asleep.
She's just done.
And
wow.
so I woke up in the morning. I'm like, where's Ben?
Where's Ben gone?
Someone goes, he's in the car. And I'm like, why? And they're like, we kind of kicked him out. He was snoring. I was like, oh.
I mean, you kind of kicked yourself out, but we're
You
all
did,
very
yeah.
grateful because,
I
like,
felt so bad because I know what my snoring's like, and
Yeah.
the amount of times I've had like sleepovers with people, and me and my sister
Yeah.
used to like sleep in the lounge room and watch movies when we were kids, and she
Yeah.
would be like, "You're snoring, fuck off, and get back to the bed." I'm like,
It's
"What?"
hard though because it's so
Yeah.
it's so annoying for you because obviously it's not on purpose and you don't know you're doing
No,
it. You're
yeah,
asleep.
yeah.
you're unconscious.
Yeah.
But I will say,
Yeah.
after my surgery, my sleep apnea that I had at that point,
Yeah.
it's no more. I don't snore anymore.
wow.
It's a very light, like.
Oh,
Like,
that's
very
so
light.
good.
So if we
Wow.
ever decide to go camping again, we can share.
We're
a
back
tent.
in the tent
We're back in the
together.
tent, guys.
Great. And I think you two are going to go camping next weekend.
Yay!
Am I right?
Surprise, guys!
We are going to a hotel if ever.
I feel like I feel like they should have just put us in a hotel that night.
Right?
I feel like they should.
Remember?
Have,
Oh my gosh, guys, this
here
is
we
a
go.
bit of a moment.
Ooh.
An exclusive. Do you remember that they said someone told me? Was
Yes.
it you? Was
yes,
it you that
was
told me this?
I
yes.
got told this by one of.
It's
Yes.
always Ben with the gossip.
Yeah,
like,
you
absolutely
weirdly knew
always.
stuff.
I'm friends with everybody.
That's
I'm
right.
friends with
Yeah, you knew
everybody.
stuff. Right? And Ben, you came up to me and said, apparently, this is the next morning though.
Yep.
Apparently, there was a hotel room for us
There was
available.
a hotel booked for us if we kicked up a stink
Enough
enough
of a stink.
not to sleep in the swags in the tent, that they would take us when everyone was asleep, take us to the hotel room, and then the next morning they'd bring us back before everybody woke up.
How crazy is
And I
that?
feel like
We didn't even know that was an option.
If I had known that night, I would have been like, I'm
I'd
not
been in there.
sleeping in the tent.
I would have been like,
I would've kicked up a
unfortunately,
fucking stink.
I'm allergic to something here.
I'm allergic to camping.
I'm actually really
But
allergic to
hey,
camping.
we stayed there.
did.
Like
Yeah.
we didn't do the hotel thing, so
Yeah, I know.
props to us.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So, what would you say would be the absolute bottom of the barrel worst moment for you on the show, experience-wise?
How long do you
And
have?
Monty,
No.
you can't say the whole show. You can't say that because it was fun.
I feel like there's so many moments when I would make eye contact with you, or just look at Ben, or like I'd look at Sammy, or
Yeah.
look at Taria, and I was
Yeah.
just like, what choices did I make that led me here? And like, how can I go back to the start? Like, what was the first domino that like made me dressed as a pregnant woman trying to like negotiate a rug half price? Like,
birthing rug too.
A birthing rug, which by the way, like, I had to dress up as a pregnant lady to disguise myself because I get recognized all the time anyway,
gosh,
right?
Yeah,
so
you do.
I felt like such an idiot doing
like
that.
I always get things for half price when I walk into a store because they know I'm a swimmer. Like never happened once. Anyway, dress as a pregnant lady, go into a store and negotiate something for a cheaper price. And I was wearing this lumpy
It was
pregnant
a pillow.
belly.
It was like a cushion.
And one of the boobs was higher than the other. You know in 10 Things I Hate About You when she has to wear the belly? It was like that.
Yes.
Great movie.
Exactly
I'm running
like
around like Newtown dressed as a pregnant lady. And I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. And somebody asked, I don't know why they asked this because obviously there wasn't a human inside me. Like it looked like an alien. She's like, can I feel it? And I was like,
a real person asked that.
yeah. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess you can. And she put her hands on it and it's foam. And she puts her hands on it and she's like, oh. And I was like, I just don't
She's like, this girl's into some weird stuff.
You don't know how to respond to be like,
She's a weirdo.
This is my baby.
I just didn't know how to tell her that like it was fake. But like obviously she knew it was fake when she touched it.
Yeah.
But now she's thinking, I'm touching a lady who likes to run around pretending to be pregnant. Like, why is she doing this?
She's still telling this story, by the way, to that. Like,
Yeah, she
is
must
like,
be.
I met the weirdest girl once.
That's what I met today.
Yeah,
I'm surprised she didn't say to you like, do you need help? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Can
There's
we
a
call
number I have.
Can we call someone?
Yeah.
Can we
Call
tell him?
someone.
Yes, yeah.
Get you out
There
of
is
it. That was a moment for me where I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, I never thought this would be something I was doing in my life.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Why am I doing this? Yeah. I had a lot of those moments where I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I think because we all obviously did think it would be so different than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you're thrown into this like weird scenario.
Yep.
The worst moment of the show for me personally, and there are a few, but the number one standout is the episode I got fired on
Yep.
when I had to design the underwear.
Oh,
And they are basically telling me, so for everyone that is listening and didn't watch, we basically had to design our own intimates range. I didn't work with the two people that are sitting here with me now, which I was devastated about, but I had Taria and I had Benji and I had Will and Woody, who I loved.
Yep.
And they were not there, all three of them. They all left.
Oh my God, that's right.
Remember?
Yes. When we
Because Will and Woody were recording their show, and Taria and Benji both had children, and they were like, "We're going to leave early," and I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, like of course." And I stayed with Beck and Ronnie, and I'm not even going to elaborate there. I'm just going to say that. But okay, but. Here's the thing about that episode. They were telling me that they were like, you've done a line before. And I had been the face of a line for Bras and Things.
Yes.
And when something like that happens, you know, you do have your hand in the design. I've had a makeup line before where I actually literally chose everything, like down to the colours and the feel, and it went back and forth for months.
Yep.
That, though, the underwear line was a bit different. It was kind of like, here's some things we have, which ones do you love?
Yep.
And kind of you can change the color. It was like very
It's usually
basic.
a lot with fashion stuff. They give you like the samples and you can kind of choose yes, no, this. Yeah,
because
totally
it takes months. It's
Yeah.
so far in advance that but then they're going to me, so you've designed like from scratch, like cut the material yourself. I'm like, no, I haven't.
She's done
But
Project Runway, guys.
Yeah, basically, I am a drag queen making my own clothes. I'm like, I wish I could do that. I am not that talented. Sure, guys, because they basically feed you with things and then you have to say, can you just say, yep, I'll say it.
Yep.
So then basically I chose that I wanted to do basically Skims, and in my mind Kim Kardashian is wearing it and it's great.
Yep.
And I wanted to do like the bamboo thing, the cotton. Then I got told off screen, no, you actually have to use the materials in this room. Oh, and you've got 3 hours left. And I was like, wait,
the only
what?
thing in here is gold.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing in your room is like rhinestones, red lace, gold, metallic, silver, like all the things we didn't want to do. And so I'm going, oh my God, okay. So I'm walking around the room trying to find something, and literally Beck and Ronnie are just like, there. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just do it.
What do you have to say about Beck and Ronnie? They were there.
They were there. They were very much there. And I was like, oh, I found this like material, this thing, and it had like gold specks through it. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was very light. And I was like, oh, this could actually be nice. It kind of looks like glorified skin. It could be lovely. I'm like, this is great. We're going to use this. So the next morning, we get in the bus that night, and Beck she actually really was supportive. She was like, you know what? I actually really like that. Let's just go with that. We have to do something. Yep. Ronnie, don't even know what he was saying. He was just there. No one cares. And then we get there the next day, and I go to the runner.
Oh my God, yep.
And I go, can we get this? Like, I know it's really late, but like, can we get this? And she's like, absolutely, 100% great choice. And I'm like, oh my God, great. So we're getting hair and makeup done, and we haven't seen the pieces yet. And they come back with that gold.
Like thick gold.
What? Like, of course I wouldn't have chosen that. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Sammy. The material you wanted was out of stock. I was like,
So we got the closest possible thing.
The closest possible thing,
the
which
brightest,
is like
goldest disco ball looking thing you can
literally,
find. And I was like, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm done. Like, I'm bye-bye, Sammy. And also, everyone's going to think I'm a kook. Everyone's going to be like, she's an idiot. That's watching that doesn't know all this. And I was like,
you should not have been fired that episode. For anyone who has watched that episode, I was very vocal about that. Darren and I were extremely vocal.
You were so
I think that,
cute.
You know what? That's probably my worst moment when you didn't walk back into the
Actually,
room.
though.
And Darren and I stood up and were like, this is a fucking joke. This is fucked. I'm out of here.
Do you know how many people messaged me after going, oh my gosh, their reaction was the best thing ever. It was so nice.
But
yeah.
I mean,
in that episode when Sammy got fired, it's like Beck and Ronnie literally on camera made a pact to both go back into the boardroom and get her fired.
Yeah.
And we didn't see them do that. But
no, none of us saw that.
When Beck said, hey, I'm going to bring Ronnie back into the boardroom and Sammy, we instantly knew that they were like playing a game. And we were like, they're ganging up on her because they can't do it by themselves. Because they need their little
they're itchy and scratchy.
You know,
that's what I called them.
The
Tom and Jerry.
Itchy and scratchy.
Itchy and scratchy.
Yeah, totally.
I called them that in Ivies multiple times, but they never used any of it.
That's brilliant.
I called them like the Terrible Two. I called them Tweedledee and Tweedle Dumbass. I called them Mary Kate and Ashley Fuckwit. I had so many names for those two.
These are better names.
Just because they just annoyed me so much.
Do you know what made me sad about it though? I think that Ronnie, I don't really have words for, but Beck, I truly did. She was different off screen.
Yeah, she turned it on and off.
She really did. Because she messaged me afterwards that night, and she was like, "I'm so sorry. Like it was you or me," and I was like, "It's fine. I get it." Like, I feel like she just was like, "I'm just gonna play this game. It's a show. I'm just gonna do what I need to do." But Ronnie,
it's a difference. I think the thing with Beck is, I think Beck is kind of like owning the fact that this was happening.
I agree.
Whereas with Ronnie, because I still talk to Beck all the time.
Yeah.
And I love Beck. She's a really nice person.
Yeah.
But I think obviously put in that circumstance, it becomes a whole different scenario.
It's
but
a weird
Ronnie just doesn't want to take
Ronnie. I haven't even
for nothing.
heard from. Never heard from him.
I think he's actually in Sweden at the moment. I've heard because
he's in Sweden.
Him and his wife are doing a brand deal with IKEA.
No.
Yeah. But so many. No, why are you laughing? I'm being dead set serious.
No, you're not.
Yeah, they are.
What?
They've got some brand deal with IKEA. They're working with IKEA. But
I have
great. Seen.
I love IKEA. They do great Swedish meatballs.
Post show, really I have seen lots of comments saying that IKEA should not be working with them.
You're lying.
I promise you.
No, actually,
it's a lie.
You sent me them.
This is a real thing.
Them. Yeah, and the whole There's
anyway.
Yeah, he was just.
Do you guys think that he played the villain up more than what? I guess he is. I don't know. Because when I first met him, I was a fan because I used to watch
thought
the
he
vlog.
was.
I was like,
no,
great.
I didn't know who he was, but I thought he was lovely.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, that episode, I was like, oh, okay. Yep. And even the episode before, to be honest, which was the car boot sale, which was the first time I worked with him. Oh. And Benji was like, you are one person off screen and you're one person on screen, and he didn't like it. And I was like, yeah, I just don't. That's just not. I don't like that. I'm like, if you're just be you all the time. How exhausting to be one person off and on screen. Exhausting.
Yeah. I've said that in so many interviews. Like when I first started doing press for the show.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I need to watch what I say. I can't say anything bad about the contestants. No. Not that I would ever say anything bad about people unless they were horrible to me.
And that's why you just have to be yourself.
But then watch when the show started airing and I started seeing the shit that he was saying and to you and to like to Rhea and even like to you when he kept calling you guys in your little click or whatever it was. Yeah. I was like, no, thank you. See you later.
Rhea,
I don't give a shit anymore. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want. Why not?
When he was mean to Rhea, that really got my blood boiling. When he was mean to Rhea,
there was a lot of things that they didn't show between Ronnie and Rhea, and it was
when you know her, you just
it was very difficult to watch that because it wasn't okay. Like it was so not okay, and I hated it. Yeah, like it was like nobody should behave like this. Like I don't care if you're playing a villain and turning it on, but like. When you're legitimately upsetting someone and somebody is crying because of something you said, you need to take a good hard look and change your behavior because that's just not how you talk to people.
Totally. And especially her.
I know.
Rhea's the best.
I know.
Rhea is
the end.
Australia's sweetheart.
She's the best.
Besides myself and besides... She's amazing.
No. Like... There's not a bad bone, nothing bad to say. And also like... Because the time that it clicked for me actually is that time when he said, they didn't air this, but when I was by myself with Ronnie and Beck, and Ronnie said, and I'm just sitting there in the middle of them, and I'm trying to design this.
I need to have a vape for
freaking underwear. Yeah, just keep it's very intense. I'm sweating. I'm trying to design this hilarious underwear, and he said. And you could feel it that he knew the camera was on him. And he's like, I just think Rhea's sabotaging this. And I was like, what?
She's not even here.
Yeah, how?
How could she be sabotaging
He goes,
it?
Benji and Rhea, they're sabotaging this. And Beck was like, yep. And I was so disappointed in her because I was like, you know that's not true. Don't jump on a bandwagon. Don't do it. Stick to your guns. You know that's not true. And I was like, guys, do not talk about people when they're not here. Because this is a task where we're all supposed to be doing the job together as a team. And I was so upset. It weirdly made me so upset. I was like, wow, I'm so upset. I was like, had to leave the room, and I'm not that dramatic.
I love it when you get upset because like everybody thinks, Sammy's so nice, blah, blah, blah. And then when you get upset, you're like, no, you've crossed the line. Absolutely not. No, 100%, no.
100% no.
Sammy always says 100%. 100% no, you've crossed my line. You can't do this. And it's like, it's so good.
It was so upsetting because I was like, nope, that is my friend and she is not sabotaging. And I was upset because I was like, this is a charity for women and children. She is a woman and has children and is a mother.
Exactly.
The end. Bye,
Guys,
Ronnie.
do you think that we took this show too seriously?
Yeah.
Like we took it
Do you think? Do you really? I want to know. I fucking think
We've only had 6 dinners to talk about it.
Honestly, we really believed in it, and like we really believed in the charities, and we really believed in the task.
Exactly.
But when you're in the bubble, you are so in the bubble.
Oh,
we didn't see anyone else really. We saw our partners for 4 seconds, and then we'd go back and be in it. So
100%.
I think it was good that we cared about it, but like it's so obvious watching it back that like like Ronnie and Beck, like they knew it was more of a game, and like we were just like we were just playing it so straight, and like
Beck understood. I really saw that from her. She understood what was happening.
Yeah, and she's done it before. Like both of them are like reality stars. That's like what they do. It's like literally their job.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that if we were to like go back in time, or like if we were to do the show say now, like for me especially because this was the first time I'd ever been on TV and I've done something like this, and I feel like I got very intimidated by being in the boardroom, for example.
Oh, so intimidated.
And it was just really like
so scary
because I'm not a very confrontational person as Ben. Carl is a very confrontational person. She doesn't give a fuck about anybody, but I'm very much like, oh my god, when people are fighting I'm like, I don't know what to do kind of thing. I think if I was to like, and obviously having media training up until now, I feel like if I was to go back and do that, I probably would have ended up being the villain of the show because I would have just told everyone to go fuck themselves. I would have punched on with Ronnie or someone or something would have happened. I would have chucked like a Cyrell and I would have thrown my wine at
it would have been great. Like I feel like any time that you talk shit about someone, you do it with a bit of love and a bit of humor, and like that's the only way to do it.
It's
but
never.
Also, I always use the excuse as Carla said it, not Ben. That's Carla's opinion, not Ben's opinion.
I need to get myself a drag.
You need to get yourself an alter
alter
ego.
ego.
Yeah, you
Like,
guys can take the wig home and put it on.
Yeah.
I have another question before we get to the good part, because I feel like we could talk about
Oh my gosh,
the
for
shit for
hours.
ages. Okay,
Yeah.
Who do you think was the most misunderstood on the show?
I probably think Jodie.
Yes.
She was like
Yes.
amazing. Like, I
so
cannot
hard.
describe how good she was.
Absolutely.
Especially in our first task. We had a charity golf day.
Yep.
And she raised $90,000
Yep.
in 24 hours all by herself. Like,
Literally.
She was
She's
just like,
amazing.
she was such a gun.
Yes.
And,
And then she got fired for patting a horse.
yeah. And then
And also,
poor
they
thing.
only showed clips of her saying stuff like bad about the camping when she didn't really
She
even
didn't
say those
complain.
things.
no,
at all.
she didn't
No,
complain.
not
She
once.
sucked it up. She did it. She
Yep.
did everything.
She's so
she was
sweet.
so good.
Yep.
And
Love
I just
her.
wish that like that got shown and she got
They
a chance to
saw her?
shine.
Yeah, I agree.
Because she was very, very good.
That's a great answer. I agree with that. Jodie Gordon, what a woman.
I also think, I do love Jodie.
Love her.
I also think someone who, well, for me personally, that was misunderstood was Gamble. Because I adore that woman
You
with
do.
all my heart and soul. And she has her heart in the right place all the time. But sometimes she obviously can say things that people might not take as, but she just says it. It's kind of like a no filter kind of thing. And I know that she obviously
She chose me.
she chose you at some
She
point. on
just
the show.
chose me.
But I will say,
Yeah.
the episode when you got fired,
She was really sweet.
I was with Bronte and I was with Jean,
Yeah.
and she rang me and was like, "I can't believe Tinkerbell got fired." She was so upset. She was so upset that you got fired.
You know,
was so-
she messaged me too, and she's like, "That was ridiculous," and I was
Yeah.
like, "What?" But she
100%.
know, yeah.
But
She was
yeah.
very
I mean,
sweet when I got
As
fired.
opposed to being misunderstood, like I honestly couldn't understand what was going on in her brain like 90% of the time.
Yeah,
Like I've never met anybody whose brain jumps from like one thing to
Yeah.
another so fast.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just couldn't keep up with her at
Yeah.
all. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're doing a cooking challenge and you're talking to me about a social media plan. Like I honestly, I can't follow along. Like you're 100 miles an hour
Yeah.
down a road and I'm like still at the starting line. Like it was an interesting insight. I'm like, wow, you have a lot of energy and a
Yes.
lot of things happening.
Yes, very
And
much
I
so.
loved it.
I
Yeah.
will go on to say that I think the other person that was misunderstood was Jared.
I was like, "Wait, hang on."
I'm joking. Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jared.
We could have a whole episode talking about that guy, honestly.
I-
He's just, oh
Yeah.
I don't think
God.
I didn't really spend very much
Well,
time
he was
with
in the
him.
boys, so we didn't get to work
Can
with
you
him really.
Please give us that
Yeah.
this just a quick rundown of this story
Yeah.
about your interactions with him.
Oh my God.
You need
What do you want
to.
me to
I
tell?
just want you to tell me the story.
The mail?
The mail
mail,
with Jared,
yeah.
please, because it's really
It's so random.
It's so
it's the
weird.
most random encounter.
Yeah.
Because there was not very many encounters with Jared on the show.
No,
at
so
all.
because he was in the boys' team, I don't really work with him. And listen, he was fine. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't as bad as they made it out
No,
to be.
I
He
actually
was,
felt bad for him a little
me
bit.
too,
So I was
me
like,
too.
oh, he's actually not. He's fine. Anyway, I got a message from him, and he's like, "I have your mail," and I was like, "Why? How weird."
How much do you want from me?
Yeah.
Is it a ransom?
Like, why do you want my mail? But he was actually really sweet. He's like, no, I actually live in your old house. And I was like, oh, what? And it just happened to be that he lives in my old, well, I actually think he's moved now, but he lived in my old house,
in your
so he
old
had
house.
my mail.
That is so random.
So it was just
my
one of the most
God.
random things of all the places.
of all the places that he could have lived in.
that he could have lived in.
It was yours.
It was my old house.
Girl, you need to change your address, like update that shit.
I know. And actually, I've moved twice since then. So I probably need to really update. I mean, I think it was like sunglasses, like from a company that sent them to me. So I felt really bad. I was like, well, someone's enjoying them. Jared, wear them.
Jared's
You can
enjoying
have
them
them.
down at
Definitely
Bondi
wear
Yeah.
Beach.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. So what would you say, just very quickly, what would you think is the best moment from the show? I will start because my favorite moment from the show was obviously, I mean, besides getting to know you guys
Yes.
and making money for charity, I
Yeah.
think the best moment that we had all together was probably the end of the camping trip. I think because that was a point where we
got
all
through it.
bonded. We got through it together.
Yeah.
But also for me, because I had to like do that whole thing of like coming out again as Ben on national TV. It was very like,
That was huge.
it was an intense moment.
Yeah, of course it was.
But you guys kind of like, you guys were so amazing and just like embraced it with open arms. And I really appreciate that because not a lot of people, you know, I feel like if it was on the boys team and did that, it'd be, I feel like Benji and Darren would have been like, yo, bro, that's, and Will and Woody. I feel like everyone else would have been like, that's it anyway. What the fuck?
No, that was a huge moment. And we felt so honoured that you did that with us and felt safe enough with us. You know, that's really lovely. Yeah. And we were happy to just be like around you in that.
And I also loved that little like 12-year-old gay Ben that was obsessed with Samantha Jade back in the day was like watching TV when Samantha Jade's like, that's my friend. I'm like, Samantha Jade called me my friend. You hear that,
you
bitch?
are my friend. Yes. Aww. That is so nice. No, I loved that moment. That was very special to be a part of.
And I feel like out of everybody, obviously besides Darren, because Darren and I are super close too, I feel like you two are probably like the other two people that I'm like very, very close with. That camera just turned off, by the way. Just leave it. All right, cool. And I feel like, you know, everyone bonded together, but I'm glad that we got to.
Oh my gosh. The friendships made on this show, and what a random bunch, really. Because we wouldn't have met.
No.
Like,
No way.
right.
No.
And so, and also if we did, it would have been at some weird event that we would have been like, hi, nice to meet you. And you never really continue the friendship.
Yeah.
Don't really talk that much because you're at an event, people pulling you everywhere. So the fact that we got to share a really, really weird experience together, and we'll always have that, is actually really special. And I'm glad, and I'm really happy that I got to do it with you guys because it was the best. That part was the best.
Hey, we should do 5-year and 10-year reunions.
Yeah, we have to.
Oh my God.
We have to, guys.
That'd be great.
And then we'll probably forget stuff by then, but yeah.
What would you
Well, we might have something else to talk about than the show by
Imagine
that point.
we do like the best of.
the best?
We do it again. Never again.
Call us back for All Stars. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'd love to do
Lord
All Stars.
Sugar.
So
you.
what would you, Bronte, what's your best moment from the show?
I had to think of just one moment.
Yeah, it is hard, hey.
There's a lot of moments. I mean, like, obviously, the best takeaway from the show has been the friendships.
Yeah.
And also, actually, this was my best moment, which was, like, not very funny or very interesting, but it was very good.
Yeah.
Was the moment I got to go give the charity check to my charity, which, like, was so nice.
Yep.
And a
amazing.
young carer came along, and I was like, what's your story? And she was like, I've been caring for my mum since I was 8 years old. And I have a younger sister who I'm like half raising as well. And I was just like, this is incredible. Like, how do you get through school like that? Like, how do you...
What a
Now she's
person.
like going to uni and she's doing all these amazing things. And now she's like, this is incredible. And they're like, this money is going towards helping these people. And you're like, oh my God, like what a moment.
Yeah.
So like then you're like, okay, that's why I was dressed as a pregnant lady
Yes.
walking
And
around.
it makes
That's why we
okay.
did camping. That's why we like to have like
Yeah.
the unreality of the show, which was like, it was insane. Like what we
Yeah.
were doing was crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then
yes.
to like go into the real world again and be like, hey, like this is an actual person that
Yeah.
can benefit from that. That was a nice thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we were so happy because of how much it meant to you. Like
Yeah.
we were,
You guys really got behind that. That was really
Yeah.
sweet.
oh my gosh.
I think
of
that was the
course.
first time I cried when we didn't win the camping trip because I was so upset that we didn't win for your charity. And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh,
oh my
yeah.
God. And
Yeah.
then that was the night when Jody
Yeah.
went home and then you and I went back to your place and had
Oh my
pizza
gosh,
and wine
and pizza and
got drunk and ate food.
We really did. We were like, we
Oh
need a debrief. Let's
God.
have pizza and wine.
So good. All right. So before we head off, I do actually have some really fun would you rather questions that I
Oh
want to
my
play with
gosh.
you guys.
Okay, go.
Great.
Which I think would be really
This
fun.
game
So
is
it's going to be
hilarious.
rapid fire.
Okay.
Don't think too much into it.
Yep.
Just the first thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
They're really, really ridiculous. I'm looking at them
Oh
now.
no. Okay. Okay.
All right. So the first one is: would you rather never have to pee again or never have to shit again?
Never have to shoot again.
Yeah, shit.
100%.
Although, actually, no, I'm going to take a long-winded answer on this. I do like to sit on the toilet sometimes. Like, I sit on the toilet long. It's a male thing.
You
I
can
sit on the
sit- you
toilet
can
longer
sit
than
down
I
and
do.
pee
It's a
if
male
you
thing.
Does
want.
Pat do the same thing?
I
I
mean-
scroll on my phone first thing in the morning for like half an hour while I'm taking a shit and just watching Facebook, YouTube,
It's a
TikTok,
male
whatever.
thing. My
It's a male
brothers,
thing.
yeah.
My dad's the same too. He
Yeah.
used to read the newspaper when I was a kid. He used to sit on the
Yeah.
toilet, read the newspaper till it was
Is
finished, and then
that-
get off the toilet.
Do it somewhere else.
Yeah, you do it.
But yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
Okay, next one. Would you rather accidentally send a dirty text to your boss
Oh, no.
or a sexy voicemail to your mum
Oh, boss.
or your dad?
boss. I don't want, no, boss, fine. I can get myself out of that one.
I accidentally sent, I wouldn't say it's a sexy text, but I accidentally once sent a message to my mum that wasn't meant for my mum. It was meant for my friend, talking about something that I not had done, but like I had.
Someone that you don't
No. So I went to a party with my friend who at the time I was like, oh my God, this guy is he's so cute. I had a bit of a crush on him.
Yeah.
And then when we went to, we were staying overnight, it was up the coast somewhere, and him and I shared the bed.
Okay.
So I went to message my friend the next day because we were just like, we were friends. It was just whatever.
Yeah.
And the next day I went to message my friend because he had asked me, oh, how did it go? Like, oh my God, like, where did you sleep? And I was like, oh my God, I shared the bed with him and we cuddled. And I sent it to my mum. And at that point I hadn't come out to my mum yet.
No.
So I sent it to my mum, and my mum wrote back and she was like, what?
Oh my
And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was trying to send a message to Aaron about something that happened with this person. Like, I was just made up this entire bullshit fucking story.
Yeah, wow.
Sure. Did your mom already know though? Like, even though you hadn't
she
come
knew.
out to her, like she knew. Like,
She knew. When I did eventually come out, she's like, yeah, I already knew.
Yeah.
I already knew that. It was pretty. It was
I
very
need
obvious
I
from
need
a
to
young
sit
age.
you down, Mom. I need to talk to you about something. She's like, is this about you being
Is
gay?
this about your
I know
homosexuality?
this. I already know.
God. Have you guys ever accidentally sent a text that wasn't meant to be for the rest?
I was going to say, have you ever accidentally come out as gay?
Have you guys ever accidentally come out?
Not yet.
No.
That is something I have not done. Text message. Have I done that before?
No, but I get paranoid when you're talking shit about someone and
yes.
you screenshot it.
my
I'm like
gosh.
so
I've done
paranoid
that.
I'm
I've
going
done
to
this
send
so
it to
many
them.
times. I've
Like,
done
and
this
you're
so
like,
many
you
times.
can't do that.
Yeah.
I get real scared that I'm
Yeah.
just going to like, 'cause you're thinking
Screenshotting,
about them and you're reading their name that you're just going to type it in and send
Yeah,
it.
sometimes
Yeah.
you can do that silly stuff.
Or
yeah.
like I do it on Facebook sometimes where I'll like be having an argument with somebody.
Yeah.
I've had to backtrack where I've had an argument with someone, I've screenshot them, went to send it to the other person, or I've sent it back to them, and then they're like, why are you screenshotting? And I'm like, I'm showing you how much of an idiot you are. That was my excuse. I'm
Backing
actually going to
yourself?
show you this. Read your text back,
I meant
bitch.
to do
You're
that.
a bitch.
Yeah, I meant to
Period.
do it.
Oh God. All right. Would you rather have nipples for toes or toes for nipples?
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Nipples for toes.
Toes or
I already
toes
have
for
nipple-sized toes. I mean,
Toe-sized nipples?
toe-sized nipples.
toe-sized nipples.
Like my friend always says, I have like salami-sized nipples. I think that's like.
Oh my god.
Salami.
Drew's looking at me like
Salami.
gross.
Salami.
They're shrinking at the moment, so.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
I think I would
Yeah,
rather
maybe-
my feet be nipples than my nipples be toes.
Maybe feet because you can cover them more.
Just sneakers. But like, how?
Sneakers
what kind
all
of,
the time.
What kind of bra are you going to wear that's going to cover up your two big
Yeah.
toes pointing out of your chest? Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't think they've invented that unless
What
I
a-
was in the
that would-
50s and they had their pointy bras, you know? Like those
Madonna would
OG
excel
bras.
in
Yeah.
that scenario.
Maybe Madonna does
She'd
have
excel.
toes.
That's
nipple
what
toes.
that's what that whole pointy bra thing was.
All right. Would you rather?
Oh god.
This is really gross.
Oh no.
Would you rather see your siblings have sex or have your siblings watch you have sex?
Okay, so
I'd rather die. Take me to my death. I
me to
am
my
done.
grave, bitch. I'm
Take
out.
me to my
Bye.
death. I'm not doing either of those things. That is so messed up. That question. I can't.
not with each other.
I didn't.
No, in general.
Not with each other.
My baby, like my brothers are like my baby brothers too because they're so much younger than me. Ew.
Ew. Mhm.
It's an ill for
No,
me.
thank you.
I'm dying. I'm throwing myself
Sammy's like, no, I'm not going
I'm
to
off a
answer.
cliff. I'm
I've got to
done.
go,
Like,
guys. I'm out.
I'm
I've
dying.
got
Yeah.
3 sisters, so I feel like it's different when
Okay,
there's sisters.
sisters is a bit
I do have a
different.
brother as well, but like,
Let's count him out.
he's definitely out.
Are your sisters
So-
watching or are you watching your sisters? Oh, it's so messed up.
I mean, why are they even watching? Like, definitely I would prefer them to watch me because
Okay.
it's way less awkward.
I don't
Just go under
know
the covers.
if I
What would
want to
you do?
put
Under the covers?
under the covers.
Lights off under the covers.
I don't.
What are you doing?
I feel like if my sister was to watch me, I feel like it would be a laugh. I feel
Yeah.
like she'd probably have a laugh. 'Cause me and my
So
sister are
you're
very much
providing
like that.
entertainment.
We
Yeah.
provide each other entertainment
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
I don't think I could watch my sister do it. I feel like that
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be very far.
Like, I also just think I just couldn't physically watch that. Like that would
No.
be so difficult.
I don't want to know
No, thank you.
anything about that.
No.
No. I feel like a sister is different than a brother.
It is different because you share a lot anyway. Like I feel like
Yeah, with your girls.
I've not been watching, but like I've got a rundown.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I'm probably gonna get a rundown anyway. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Oh my
That you're going to know details. Yeah.
Well, thank you for playing Would You Rather.
What a
I
game.
feel like we're not friends anymore. I would
That
just
was a
know
lot,
way
that
too
last
much more
question.
about
My
each other.
chest is like on fire.
No! God, please, no! No!
We could talk for hours and hours and hours.
Oh
and
my
hours.
gosh,
I feel like
that's
we
so
could probably
long.
do another part later on in the.
Should we do a
later
part
on.
two? This is
Was
part
it?
one.
This is part one.
Part one, yeah.
But let's just do a final cheers. Thank you both so much for joining me on Oh My God, Bro. I had an amazing
Cheers.
time. Cheers.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us.
Oh My God, Bro is available on all streaming platforms, social media, whatever you want.
Go listen.
The Instagram is at Oh My God Bro Podcast, OMG Bro Podcast. You can follow me, Carla from Bankstown, Benjamin James, whatever you want to do. And if you have any questions or anything that you want to ask me for my next video or my next podcast, just send me a DM. And I also respond to dick pics too, so thanks. Love you guys.
We love you too.
Peace out, Gronks. Bye. This podcast is produced by those sexy Gronks at Live Tap Media. Oh my God, shout out to you, Gronks. Oofed.